He accused you of murdering your mother. What? Sir? He says, yes, and I needed to inform you. Okay, I was on the phone with my aunt, and I get a phone call that comes in on the other line. And I click over. I don't know if I hung up with my aunt or, but anyway, the guy calls and he talks to me. He asked me if it's me. I said, yes, it's me. And he says, well, your brother just left here. And I remember I was sitting in front of Laredo Taco. And he says, I have your brother in here. He just left. And he said that he accused you of murdering your mother. What? Sir? He says, yes, and I needed to inform you. And he's like telling me that they're doing an investigation. It's preliminary. It may not go too far, but he wanted to let me know that they're contacting other law enforcement agencies and other, I guess, social agencies in the area because my brother says that I have all these people investigating me and that I have so much evidence against me and that, they'll know what to do. So the medical examiner is like, hey, we're doing the investigation. I wanted to let you know I'm going to call you back with some questions. But we're going to do our investigation initially. So then he's asking me where my mom was, where she was. And she was at the funeral home because she had been transported from the hospital to the funeral home. And he wanted to know, some other things, just little things here and there, like her name and all that other stuff, just initial things. And he ended up calling me back later after he talked to law enforcement, and he was like, I don't think we're going to do it. Like, I don't think we're going to go ahead with this investigation because we talked to law enforcement and it seems as though there were a lot of extraneous cases that were called concerning you and your mom and your aunt. And it just seemed like there was nothing there, right? And I was like, yeah, because I've been harassed. My mother has been harassed. My aunt has been harassed. The people in the nursing care have been harassed. And I'm not talking about the staff. I'm talking about the residents of the nursing care home were being harassed as well because they have to look up every few days and see law enforcement coming into their home, and the neighbors as well that were surrounding the home, they see law enforcement there every other day just for no reason. And then they spoke to law enforcement, and law enforcement had said every time they went, there was nothing found. They were like, it's just a regular home with older people in it and disabled people. And so they weren't going to investigate. He was like, if I'm going to investigate further, I'll let you know. But, for now, we're not going to do it. So then I went in the funeral home and I went ahead and did, paperwork and stuff, initial paperwork and stuff. And I come out and he calls me back and he tells me that they're going to have to... No. He calls me back and he asked me some more questions. And then I believe it was like later that day or the next day, I get a call that they're transporting my mom's body back to the medical examiner's office in the original county. They're crossing county lines because my mom I was in the funeral home. I put her in the funeral home where she knew, the owner, and they knew our family. And I was like, I know they were going to do a good job. So I put my mom in their care, and they did a great job. But medical examiner had to come back and pick her up and take her back to the medical examiner's office, back to the county. And so I am like, okay. He calls and he apologizes and says, look, we have to do it because of the allegations. The allegations are very serious. Because these allegations we have to investigate. It wasn't just him, it was above him. Like, it was one of those, like, it was not my decision, it's above me now. And so they decided to do it. Now, anybody knows my mom knows that she was not up for surgery. The reason why she declined in her last couple years so quickly, she declined the surgery to open up and drain the fluid that was on her brain and like redo whatever it was with her spine. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but basically she told everybody at church, either God's going to heal me or God's going to take me home. And that was it. And nobody's going to cut me open. She said, nobody's going to make me a science experiment. She was always making jokes about that. Like, nobody's going to make me a vegetable. She was always joking about that kind of stuff and saying, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to cut me open. Somebody made sure that they picked my mom back up, took her to the autopsy so that they could autopsy her. And you know what happens during an autopsy, because we've all seen CSI, and my mom's wishes were thrown out the window. Now, in this time frame, I'm still getting bombarded by things that were said, done, out of spite, out of anger. And I'm having to deal with all of this while doing arrangements for my mother, for her funeral, and trying to coordinate with the medical examiner's office to see when I'm going to be able to get my mother's body back so that we can have the funeral, so that I can tell people that this is the date of the funeral. So this drama had been going on for at least a year and a half, maybe two, because it was a lot. And if you want to know more, I will post the next video about what happened with the medical examiner and the drama that came before this that led up to this. But the reason why I'm telling my story is because I've run into people and I have been asked questions by people who did not know the situation. They knew my mom, they know my family, did not know what was going on, was wondering what was going on about certain things. And I'm kind of over having to tell this story over and over again. And I just figured I'd go ahead and post it so that you be the judge, you decide. But this is the drama that has been going on for months and months and months. And I'm tired of telling it over and over again. I'm going to tell it one more time, and hopefully this will be the end of it.